right, so let's go ahead and get this started. If anybody else joins, hopefully they get here soon. Thank you to those of you that are here. I appreciate you coming. If you could please sign in on the chat and with your name and your organization or agency, with your email address and a phone number, we would appreciate that. Today is there anyone here that hasn't been here before that needs to introduce themselves? I want to give you a chance to do that if you'd like.
I have not been here, but I'm not sure if I really need to introduce myself unless you want me to.
It's totally up to you. Nice to meet you, James.
It's a pleasure. No, James Gates here. I founded Hudson Ranch Conservation. We are an animal and nature conservation set up here in the mountains at actually my ranch, Hudson Ranch. Currently have some contracts with Fish and Wildlife Services, doing some habitat restoration. My board is putting together some programming right now. We plan to do some educational resources we have a couple children's charities in Los Angeles, mainly at Promise Youth, get them up to the mountains that they've never been to before. But in addition to that, I'd like to start hooking up with the schools in the area and working with other partners.
Great, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate that. And once again, it's nice to meet you. All right, so today we do have Aging and Adult Services that are going to be speaking, as well as KCSO, the Kern County Sheriff's Office. Michelle Flores with the Kern County Sheriff's Office. She's going to be speaking first. Michelle, are you ready? Uh-oh, did we lose her?
No, I just didn't know.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Sorry. Am I able to share my screen? Oh, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm like, bear with me because I have not done this in forever. Oh, be this one. Okay, can you see it? Or did I do the wrong one? I think I did the wrong one, huh? Let me see. One second. Let me try this again. Okay, can you guys see it now? Are we good? Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Alrighty, so I'm going to be talking super quickly through this presentation. If you guys have any questions, if you want to leave me questions at the end, or even like type them in and we can go over them at the end, that would be great. So personal safety is what we're going to be talking about. A lot of this stuff is like obvious things, but it's always nice to be reminded. I always like telling everyone that we do this presentation to that sometimes we forget these things, or sometimes it's not obvious to other people. So some of the topics we're going to be going over are street precautions, vehicle safety, home safety, if you become a victim, what to do next, and the emergency response plans. So before starting this, if you haven't already seen our crime triangle, this is what our crime triangle is, or what a crime triangle is. So in order for there to be a crime triangle, there needs to be a victim, a target, a criminal or a desire, and an opportunity, so a window of opportunity. So what we want to do so that way this doesn't happen is remove that opportunity from that. So removing a window of opportunity, that could be something like if you're at home and your kids are out playing with their bikes all the time and they leave their bikes out there in your front yard in plain sight, that's going to create a window of opportunity for a criminal to want to steal that. So we want to remove that as an opportunity. Alrighty, so the first topic, street precautions, being safe on the streets, is what we're going to be going over. And these are the states of awareness. So there are 4 different kinds. The first one is a state white, and it's when you're completely unaware and you're switched off to all dangers. So this is usually when you're at home, you're relaxed, you have all your doors locked, you're in your safe space. State yellow is when you're in a relaxed state of awareness and cautious. This is the ideal state that you want to be in everyday activities. So this can be when you are, walking around your neighborhood, you're, relaxed, but you're still aware of your surroundings. State orange is when when you feel you're in danger, and you're on a heightened state of awareness and stress. This could be if you're walking down the street and you notice a transient coming your way. You are a little more anxious, you're a little more aware, but you're not in a state red. And state red is when you're in conflict. So if you need to be in that fight or flight mode, or sometimes people actually freeze, but fight or flight mode is what state red is if someone's attacking you. So trust your intuition, be cautious, make a scene if you need to, stop being polite. So if you, and what I mean by that is, if you're, let's say at the grocery store and you notice that someone's getting a little too close to you, it's okay for you to let them know, like, hey, can you back away from me a little bit? Like, I'm not feeling safe. And then fight or flight. So if you are ever in a situation where you're in a state red and you need to fight, if you need to fight someone or if you need to run away, make sure that you go ahead and either do one of those two instead of freezing. And then if you ever feel your adrenaline kicking in, make sure that you are listening to that and you don't stop your adrenaline from happening. Make sure that you continue that. Okay, if you're on the street, make sure you're making eye contact with people. Making eye contact shows that you see them and they see you. Just be self-aware overall. Be aware of your purse, where your wallet is at, where your keys are at. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Prepare appropriately for your destination. So during a transitional space, such as an ATM, parking structures, or dark streets like alleyways, make sure that you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure you put away all your phones, any kind of distractions at all. Make sure you're walking with confidence. And also pay attention to people who are approaching you and keep a safe distance from them. Again, it's okay to let them know if they're getting a little close to you. Make sure that they are aware that you're seeing them. So some transitional spaces are, again, parking lots, stairwells, ATMs, public restrooms, laundry rooms, isolated areas. And most robberies and assaults happen in transitional spaces. They recognize when you are in a transitional space, so that way you're, aware of your surroundings again. A lot of this stuff is super repetitive. Know what is normal for that space and be on high alert, not paranoid. So don't be in that orange state that we talked about earlier. Make sure you're in that yellow state. So dangerous situations like carjacking and kidnapping, we're going to be going over those a little bit. So if you're ever in a situation like that, make sure that you react immediately. If you need to run, run. If you are able to fight, like I said earlier, then fight, but you need to get out of that danger zone. Do everything you can not to be taken from the scene. If you have to fight, make it count. Don't give up and try different options. So if you need to offer your wallet, do that. If you need to cause an accident, go ahead and do that. Fight, think, and wait for an opportunity to come up. And you have to be a little smart with that. I'm going to be playing a video shortly. And then also show humanity. So if you need to let them know that you have your kids, you have a family, you need to show that to the person that's trying to take you if you're ever in that situation.
Bottom of the screen is where our bad guys are, and they are waiting for their prey. And you can see them put it in drive because they see her coming down the road right here. In the original, they waited just a little longer. Now you can see them block her off, but she's left a little bit of distance. As they get out of the car, she kind of thinks about running them over, but isn't able to do it. You see the passenger door not open there, but then the driver's door did. They pull this woman out of the car, and she's going to put up a little bit of a fight, but man, against 2 of them there, 3 of them, she's not gonna be able to do much. They're gonna stuff her in the car and drive off with her, and that's just how fast the kidnapping happens.
Okay, so you've seen how she could have avoided that. So this is the wrong way. This is what you shouldn't do.
He's gonna grab some bags. He's headed to his truck. Now you notice he's aware. He sees what's going on. He's not just oblivious to things. And he's heading to the back of his truck with these bags. But what we're gonna notice here is as soon as he gets there, he puts his hands in the air and surrenders really quickly because this guy's gonna run up on him from ambush with a gun on him. And so the guy just complies. He lays down. And so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit here just for time's sake. As our armed robber, our mugger, takes the guy's wallet out and he's gonna try to steal his truck. Now, so far you're like, hey, he's just complying. It's okay. But now our bad guy says, hey, I want you to get up and get in the truck. I don't know why, but he wants to take him to a second location. Now, pretty clearly here, it tells him to put his hands on the dashboard and to stay where he is. And he's warning him, certainly would seem to me warning him not to go anywhere. But our good guy here decides to use that opportunity to get out of the truck and run off. And our bad guy doesn't have the speed to get him. And so he's going to take a shot at him right there, at least shoot a shot in the air. Then he's going to get in the truck and he's going to drive.
All right, so for him, he knew he had to wait a little bit. He offered his wallet. He was complying with him and doing what he was told, and he was able to get away safely. So assaults, over 50% of assaults are committed by someone you know. Rape is the least reported of all violent crimes. 85% of victims knew their attacker, and 90% occurred when drinking. Children between the ages of 0 to 3 are the most likely to be abused or neglected. Only 12% of child sexual abuse is reported, and the average age of human trafficking girls is between the ages of 12 to 14, and boys between the ages of 11 to 13. And then always remind kids that no means no, and they need to report it to, make sure that they're comfortable enough to report it to the parents or an adult. So vehicle safety is our next topic. Most stolen, the car theft facts of most stolen because of neglect, and they're the largest property crime. 90% are involved in secondary crime. Estimated 70% car thieves are meth addicts, and this does affect all of us because whenever they go ahead and steal these vehicles and clean them all out, it ends up going through insurance companies, and of course taxpayers do pay that. Costs on economy $6,000 per stolen car, and it adds up to over $12 billion per year. Vehicle scams, thieves find new ways to steal, so they cause fake accidents, towing or pushing. There is a scam called the key fob scam, which they would be basically duplicating a key fob. Like they would be getting the keys. I don't know how to explain it. So if you know what a key fob is, they would be basically copying that key. Some vehicles, they don't have a physical key. They're just able to go straight to the car and open the vehicle without actually inserting the key. That's the type of key they're able to copy and potentially open your vehicle. Sliders as well, and I'm going to be showing a video of that, of what a slider is.
It happens in an instant. Watch as this man snatches a purse in a matter of seconds. Police call them sliders for the way these gas station thieves cagily slide between the top of your door, lying in wait for just the right moment to pounce and run off with your valuables. And this morning, police say these types of crimes are on the rise. Watch what happens at this Texas gas station. This car pulls up next to a woman who's pumping gas. She is oblivious to the man next to her. He brazenly slides right into her car, grabbing her purse and running off before she can even blink. She chases after him, but to no avail. From Corbin, Kentucky to Tampa, Florida, these slippery sliders are being caught on camera all across the country. Sometimes the perp is caught red-handed. This man gives chase after witnessing a sliding. But most of the time, the victim has no idea until it's too late.
They're not looking for a confrontation. They just want the property because they know it's being left abandoned and you're not paying enough attention.
At this Houston gas station, a woman pulls up and walks inside as a man in the next vehicle cases the inside of her car, and she returns to the pump. Then the slider strikes. the woman never realizing she's been robbed.
It's very scary that someone could just surprise you and just steal all of your belongings.
It's yours, protect it. And the easiest way to protect it is keep it locked up, keep it with you, and don't leave it in the vehicle unoccupied.
Yeah, so whether you're at the gas station, you're cleaning your car, you're getting your car washed and you're using those the vacuums that are outside, make sure that you're locking your vehicle or you're being very aware of your surroundings. Whenever you're getting mail, make sure that you are locking your vehicle too, even if you're a few steps away, you never know who's looking. Don't leave your garage openers in your vehicle if you're parking it outside, especially. I know this has actually happened to me. I left my garage opener in my vehicle and I guess one of the doors were unlocked and I wasn't aware and they ended up having access to my garage. And I also didn't lock my door that leads into my house, so they could have easily went inside my house. Luckily, they did not, but they did steal things that were inside the car that was parked inside of my garage, as well as other things in the garage. So don't be like me. Make sure you're just keeping track of all of your keys, anything that you have in your car. Don't leave change in your vehicle, any of that, because you never know who is looking. Vehicle safety tips: always lock your car with an e-brake. Always check your back seat, hide your valuables, install a car alarm and a vehicle tracking system if you can. These are other options as well that are shown in this slide. Ignition kill switches are also good, especially if you have an older vehicle. It's basically this switch that you can get installed that you have to hide somewhere in your vehicle, and you turn it on, and if someone tries starting it, they will not be able to start your vehicle. It's pretty nice, especially if you have an older car. Locks like a gear shift, steering wheel lock, floorboard, or a fuel cap, like what is shown here. Keep registration and personal papers with you as well. I know that's a little difficult. I always like keeping mine in my vehicle in case anything. You always want to be ready. But that's something, just to think about, to keep it with you instead of in your vehicle or at home, and have a virtual or photocopy of it. So these are other examples of what you can do to prevent people from stealing your tires or your plates, any of those screws. You need a special tool to get them open. So these are pretty good if you notice any kind of trend happening in your neighborhood where people are stealing your tires or the plates. And make sure you are rolling your windows as well, and not leaving, whenever you're going shopping, not leaving your bags inside of your vehicle if you go to a different store. Make sure that if you're at one of the shopping centers where there's multiple stores, if you go back to your car, make sure you move your car if you're going to do that, because again, you never know who's watching you. Gas ATM skimmers, these are very popular. I personally, whenever I'm pumping gas, I do not like using the card readers that are attached to the gas pumps. I usually like going inside, just because I've heard so many people getting their information stolen, and that's what these are. They're like these fake card readers that take all of your information from the car. So as soon as you put in your card, it steals all of the information from there, and they're able to go ahead and duplicate your card. So it looks just like it. Usually what they do is they put it on top, and there's different kinds as you can see on here, but they put it on top of the actual scan reader. I know that a lot of these gas stations are coming up with different things where you're able to tap. I feel like that's a little safer right now, but come 5 years from now, I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a different scam where they're able to get that information from the tap when you're paying through tap. So just be careful where you're going. Sorry, my voice is going away. Now we're going to be talking about home safety. So most happen during the day when it comes to someone going into your home. Get to know your neighbors. Start a neighborhood watch if you haven't already. And it doesn't take a lot. I always like telling people, it does not take a lot to start a neighborhood watch. All it is really is getting to know your neighbors and exchanging information and just being like hyper aware of your neighborhood. Download the Nextdoor app. That's another good thing to have. And alarm systems and dogs, of course, are excellent deterrents. Even the small ones that are super loud, those are always good to have. Lock it, secure it, or lose it. Lock everything all the time. So if you can replace your bolts with heavy duty bolts, that would be better. Install a security door if you can. So if someone's at the door and if you do want to answer it, at least you have that extra protection. Front door is usually the way into a home that these thieves go into after jewelry. They're after jewelry, cash, or guns. And then answer the door, but you don't have to open it, especially if you have those ring doorbells, or I think there's like the Blink brand, whatever brand it is. If you have one of those are always really good to have because you can talk to them through the door without you actually opening the door. So common sense stuff, but again, some people might not realize this. Do not advertise. Stop leaving valuables in plain sight. Don't post your schedule on social media. Don't leave garage doors open, car doors open, bikes in the front yard, or anything that's eye candy. Do not allow strangers to feel welcome or unseen in your neighborhood. Always make sure that they see you because they're not going to want to mess with the neighborhood where there's nosy people. So if I know that there's some people that don't like the neighbors that are super nosy or always want to know things, but I mean, now as an adult and doing these presentations, it really opens my eyes to kind of seeing them as a blessing, because these are not going to want to go to neighborhoods where there's people like that, because again, they want to just not be seen. They're trying to do things low key, and it's harder for them. Lighting and natural surveillance. So again, see and be seen. Property should be well lit. One of the most effective crime deterrents is having a lit house or a brightly lighted area. A person is less likely to commit a crime if they think someone will see them. Again, motion lights are always good, floodlights, timers, all of that, especially if you're going to be out on vacation, just having a well-lit area, or even if you don't want to get anything fancy like that and you have someone in like a close family or a friend that is able to do you the favor and come to your home and turn all of the lights on and off for the night, and then for the daytime, that would be great as well. But just so that way they see that someone is there, and also just having a well-lit area is a great deterrent in general. Alarms and surveillance and signage are also good. Use alarm 100% of the time. Post signs stating alarms and surveillance, even if you don't have them. So they sell these signs on Amazon. So like the ADT ones or like the Ring ones, you can get all of these online, like on Amazon or wherever online. And again, even if you don't have these are great to post, because most likely what's going to happen is they're not going to want to mess with your home and try to break into it to see if you're bluffing or not. Have cameras or work with neighbors to have several on the street. And if you do have a good relationship with your neighbors, make sure that if they also have these security cameras, that they're facing different spots in that neighborhood that yours probably doesn't catch.
So this door cam, I've sped up just a little bit at the beginning. This woman comes up and rings the doorbell, and you can see it's 9 p.m. or whatever, and she's just coming up and kind of seeing what's going on. What we're going to see here is the homeowner open the door to talk to her. Now the dog's going to come out and just kind of sniff around, and this is kind of what happens with my dog sometimes, and he's going to wander off. But what's about to happen is this woman sees this man come up with her, and now you can see that guy's got a gun and he's trying to get in the house. Now closing the screen door and locking, it's going to give her a second while two more armed guys come up, one with a shotgun and one with an AR pattern rifle. But thankfully she has closed and locked the door, and so they're not able to get in, and they are going to run off. And
okay, so yeah, that's a perfect example of having a security door and how effective it is. And she was great about realizing how they were approaching her, and she went straight in and closed the door really quick. So that saved her life. If your home is burglarized, keep a list of your valuables with a description, make, model, and the serial numbers for police and insurance. And then, of course, make sure that you're reporting it. At the top, these are different examples of if you have a lot of jewelry or anything else that's valuable to you. These are different hiding places that you can put them in. You would just need to purchase these types of items on Amazon, or I always like saying Amazon because everyone knows about Amazon and it's just super easy to shop on there, but really anywhere. How am I doing with time? I only have about 4 more slides. Is that okay? I'm trying to go super quick. Thank you. If you become a victim, we're going to be going over tips on avoiding victimization. So follow commands like in that previous video that I showed. Don't resist, be a good victim. Of course, each situation is is different and unique. So you really do have to feel for, what kind of a person you're dealing with if you're ever in the situation. But again, like how that one guy was able to, listen to the man and give him his wallet and follow commands and act like he was going to go in the vehicle. He's seen that window of opportunity and just fled. So really just have to feel it out. But if you can, yes, don't resist, be a good victim. Physical characteristics, getting a really good description of that person, anything can help, especially when speaking with any kind of law enforcement when they're writing that report, any description at all that you can remember, like clothing, their vehicle, weapon that they had, any colors that they were wearing, anything at all. Reporting is extremely important. You are probably not the only one. Criminals have favorite areas and methods. Lock your door immediately whenever you're anywhere at all and preserve evidence. So if you guys wanted to go ahead and take a photo of this, these carry our non-emergency number for ours and BPDs. And of course, there's 911 as well. If it's an emergency, make sure you call. But we also have online reporting, and I believe BPD does as well, and there's their website. And then if you need to report anything to secret witness, the number is at the bottom as well. And that is the presentation. I know I like sped through it. I kind of like stumbled a little bit, but I mean, I hope you got the point, and I hope at least one of you guys learned something from this. I am gonna exit out of this, and then that way, in case anyone has any questions for me, you guys can go ahead and ask quickly, or you guys can email me. My email is on the chat, in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I can definitely say what I took from that. It really caught my attention when you were talking about not leaving your garage clickers easily accessible in your cars that are parked outside. Because I know in my home, that could be an issue if a car was not locked before coming in. And that's kind of scary because my garage is attached to my home. You just go straight in. So thank you for opening my eyes to that. I'm definitely going to take that home and share it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who had any questions for Michelle?
I see one, Perla.
So I did have a question. I wanted to ask what like about like the dummy drawer or like the hidden drawers, but first let me add onto what Jessica was kind of asking, like mentioning with the garage doors. So I used to keep my like a business that I've got with renting out cars. I kept the information, right? Like the car's information. That's just as we all do, keeping it in the glove box, not locked, obviously, because the people would rent a car. But it had my home address. And on one occasion, one of the cars got stolen. So even though if we don't rent cars, set that to like a PO box. Like the car registration information, if you've got a
That
PO
is so
box,
smart.
set it to
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
Learned that unfortunately the hard
Oh,
way
that's
because
scary.
I had to stress, right? About, oh my God, my address was in the car. What if they like try to retaliate?
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
that's usually how it goes. We always tell like typically whenever we do these presentations, it's for like residential communities that like call us out, our parents and stuff. But that's the way that people learn, but that's why we like doing these presentations so that way we can spread awareness. And I always like using my husband as an example because he is he's always saying this phrase like, "Oh, no pasa nada." So in English, like, "Oh,
Oh, it
you
happens.
know, yeah, nothing ever happens, like, or everything's gonna be fine. It's fine." And it's, you know, unfortunate because a lot of people think that way, and, you know, until something bad happens to them or until they're able to experience the stress of having to switch paperwork or report it and going through that whole process, like, you know, and some people won't listen, but I mean, I did have to learn the hard
Absolutely.
way that one time with the garage opener, and I was like, "Man," but I mean, yeah, so I'm glad we're able to.
Yeah. Uh, my question though was, what kind of search, like, have you done with the like the dummy drawers or like the to hide the valuables? I know you should mention like Amazon. Like, well, uh, have you tried searching for anything? Any ideas of what
I
would be a
have
good search?
I don't have it in this presentation. I think I've added them to our neighborhood watch one. We have a few
Uh,
examples of them. Um, but it really just depends on like what you're looking for. So if
uh-huh.
you're looking for more of a dresser that has like a secret drawer,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it would just depend, like, do you want a good quality one? Do you
Like
want to keep
hidden drawer.
yourself? Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So I would just
Okay.
look up stuff like that, like hidden jewelry like drawer or like
Uh-huh.
hidden jewelry like clock, like how we should
Okay.
see
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah. That
there,
was really
like
cool.
anything.
Okay.
And then once you
Perfect.
find one of them, I always find it really nice, at least on Amazon, where a lot of other similar products pop up where
Uh-huh.
if you weren't thinking about, like, let's say there's like a dummy book that you really like or something, then you can,
Uh-huh.
you know, find other products.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That was all I had.
Any other questions? Sorry, I feel like I did not go faster than I thought to, so I did take a little bit of time. So I apologize. But if you
That
guys
was
do have
great.
any
Thank
questions
you.
afterwards, my email is on there. So thank you.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you for that. I guess we will move right into Aging and Adult Services with Lupe. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can you guys see that? Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. All right. See. Trying to move this out of the way. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to go over our different programs that we have here at Aging and Adult Services. I'm going to be doing an overview. The programs that we do are programs that service seniors or disabled adults. And it's just going to be like a brief overview of the programs we have. So I'm going to be going over the Information and Referral Program, the Aging and Disability Resource Connection Initiative, or ADRC for short, the Senior Healthy Living Program, Meals on Wheels, In-Home Supportive Services, or IHSS, our Health Insurance Counseling and Advocacy Program, or HICAP, and our Adult Protective Services. And then I'll leave the questions at the end as well, or you can put them in the chat box. And I will also be sharing my I also shared my email in the chat box as well, where you can email me directly if you have any questions for me. You can send them to me directly, and I'll also have our referral or our agency email where you can share or you can send us referrals or ask us questions at the end at the very last slide that I'm going to share. I'm going to have that email there for you guys as well. Okay, so the Information and Referral Program helps seniors and individuals with disabilities and their families identify and access programs and services to meet their specific needs. The Senior Information and Referral Program provides information and referrals to programs within our agency or other agencies in our community. Our goal is to assist seniors, individuals with disabilities and their families in finding programs and services that cater to their specific needs. We operate as a one-stop shop, directing the majority of incoming calls to our call center. Depending on the caller's needs, we provide information or initiate a referral to either programs within our agency or connect the caller with programs or agencies, with a program or an agency within our community. Our team takes pride in offering support to our callers on diverse range of issues. So we do provide nutrition and food resources, low-income housing information, homemaker agency resources, adult daycare facilities information or lists, transportation resources, utility assistance programs, home modification grant applications and program information, home repair grant information. We do referrals to Meals on Wheels and to the other programs that I'm going to be going over in the following slides. We also conduct outreach at 13 senior centers throughout Kern County. Each one of our call center staff is assigned to a location, and once a month they do visit the centers and bring this information out to the seniors in those areas. We do go out to Fraser Park once a month. We're there every third Tuesday of the month from 10 to 12 at the Family Resource Center. And then as a side note, in the event that someone is not able to read or write or has a disability that prevents them from filling out forms on their own, we can provide assistance with both reading and completing the necessary forms for them. So we do forms assistance. And then that number there that you see on the screen, that's the number where someone would call to get those services. So the next program is our ADRC program. The ADRC is a collaborative between the Independent Living Center of Kern County and Aging and Adult Services. The purpose of this local network is to help aging adults, people with disabilities, their families and caregivers to find services and supports to help them live with dignity and as much independence as possible. The purpose of the initiative is to provide a single, more coordinated system for people in need of reliable information and access to long-term care services and supports. Here locally, we could make this possible with the help of our partners and the Independent Living Center of Kern County. Through these partnerships, we have been able to provide enhanced services using a person-centered approach while reducing the barriers for accessing services. These services may include enhanced information and referral services. So we work with other agencies to get clients information and resources based on their unique needs. We provide short-term services coordination in urgent situations. We work with them and other professionals to get them the support they need to stay out of the hospital or long-term care. We provide options counseling concerning available long-term service and supports, or LTSS, and private benefit programs. We provide counseling to help them understand all their options, transitions services from hospital to home or from facility to community. So we connect them to services that help them move out of a facility and back into independent or community living. So next we have our Senior Healthy Living Program. Aging and Adult Services has partnered with USDA, California Department of Aging, and the University of California Cooperative Extension of Kern County and the Community Action Partnership of Kern to provide nutrition and physical activity education to low-income seniors. The program helps individuals age 60 and over to establish healthier eating habits and a more physically active lifestyle. Nutrition and physical activity classes are held virtually or by phone via Zoom. We also provide them at the senior centers or at senior housing complexes. Workshops presented are in the following topics, which would be Eat Healthy, Be Active, Eat Smart, Live Long, Food Smarts for Older Adults, and Rethink Your Drink. These classes will demonstrate healthier eating habits, tips for our seniors to make their meals healthier, how to measure their food, how to read food labels, in addition to low-impact exercise and balance classes. Then they can register either online or by calling the number you see on the slide and asking to speak to a health educator to sign up or to review the monthly schedule. So next we have our Meals on Wheels program. Our Meals on Wheels is a nationwide network of 5,000 community-based programs dedicated to providing seniors with a nutritious meal, a quick safety check, and a much-needed human connection. The program has been around for 50 years. In 1972, President Nixon signed a law into measure that amended the Older Americans Act of 1965 to include a national nutrition program for seniors. These are home-delivered meals that are available to individuals aged 60 and older who are either homebound by reason of illness or incapacitation, disability, or isolation. They're not able to leave their homes to participate in the congregate meals at a senior center. And then a donation per meal is requested, but it's not required if the senior is not able to provide a donation. The meals are distributed from multiple nutrition sites in the community. Referrals to the program can be made by phone or by filling out our online intake form, which is on our website. The application process will include a needs assessment and a physician's referral. Meals on Wheels is offered in Fraser Park through Revolution Foods, so we contract with Revolution Foods. Meals on Wheels recipients in Fraser Park receive a box of 5 frozen meals, 5 cartons of milk, and a bag of fresh fruits once every Thursday. So it's once a week every Thursday. So eligible participants, again, can either apply by calling the number you see on the slide or through our online application, which is on our website. Our next program is the In-Home Supportive Services Program, which provides personal and household services to aged, blind, and disabled individuals who have limited ability to care for themselves, but who can still live in their own home independently, but with a little bit of help. Referrals are made by phone only, so once a referral is made, it will be assigned to a social worker who will do an assessment to determine the client's needs and how many hours will be allocated for their care. Excuse me. Once the client is approved for services, they can request a local list of providers or caregivers who are registered through the state. The client or client's representative would hire a provider off that list if the client doesn't already have one. Most of the time we have providers who are friends or family members, could be daughters or sons, spouses maybe. The family member can register to become a provider and will be compensated to provide care for that person. So what we see sometimes is that family members might have to quit their jobs, or maybe they have to reduce their work hours to care for a family member. And so for them to become a provider, they will get compensated, and it helps supplement some of their income to care for that person. Services that are offered through our In-Home Supportive Services program would be house cleaning, changing of bed linens, laundry, meal preparation and cleanup, food shopping and other errands, and then personal care needs that are offered or that are compensated for would be help with bathing and grooming, dressing, help with eating, getting in and out of bed, moving around your home, bowel and bladder care, breathing, medications, prosthetic care, and escorting to medical appointments and alternative resources. So In-Home Supportive Services is Medi-Cal funded. So as we've seen in the previous slide, these services are strictly custodial. So for this reason, the services are not covered by private or Medicare insurance. Instead, they are covered by Medi-Cal only. If the person applying does not have Medi-Cal at the time the referral is initiated, the In-Home Supportive Services program, as part of their intake process, will assist the client with initiating a Medi-Cal application by requesting DHS to send the client an application. So once the client receives the application, it is up to the client to follow through with that application process with DHS directly. To be eligible for IHSS, the applicant must be a California resident, 65 years or older, or legally blind or disabled. So we do have children that do qualify for our program as well. Applicants should be living in their own home, and what we mean by in their own home, they do have to be living independently, so they can't be in a skilled nursing facility or a nursing home. So pretty much in the community. They must meet Medi-Cal eligibility, and they must need assistance to remain safely in their own home. So again, the purpose of the program is for them to avoid being institutionalized. So we wanted to be able to keep them in their home. So they have to have that need to continue to remain at home safely. And then a medical form, which is a SOC 873 form, must be completed by their medical provider. And then anyone can initiate a referral for the in-home supportive services program by calling the number you see on the screen. Okay, so next we have our HICAP program. This is our health insurance counseling and advocacy program. It is part of the National Network of State Health Insurance Assistance Programs, or SHIP for short, and is the most dependable source of unbiased and accurate Medicare-related information. In addition to providing general counseling on rights, benefits, and appeals, HICAP can also assist beneficiaries with Medicare plan comparisons so that beneficiaries can make informed and educated decisions before they enroll in a Medicare plan. I'm sure most of us know someone who's on Medicare or have family who are on Medicare. So we do know that Medicare can be very complex and confusing. Sometimes it's very challenging to navigate. This is why HICAP offers free counseling, education, and assistance to all Medicare beneficiaries who need help navigating and understanding their Medicare rights and benefits, supplemental plans, prescription drug coverage, understanding long-term care insurance, and help with appealing claims or denials. So HICAP services are provided by highly trained volunteer counselors who are registered with the California Department of Aging to assist seniors, disabled adults, and their families with free and unbiased Medicare counseling. Part of the services offered by HICAP include new to Medicare orientations and review of coverage options, comparison of prescription drug plans, Medicare health plans and supplemental plans, application assistance for programs like Medi-Cal, Medicare savings programs, and extra help. These are all programs that help reduce the cost of Medicare. Medi-Cal share of cost eliminations for Medicare beneficiaries, Medicare rights and how to appeal denials, and we help with detection, prevention, and reporting of Medicare fraud. It is important to mention also that HICAP doesn't sell insurance. So we're not insurance agents. We are registered by California Department of Aging, again, to provide free and unbiased counseling. So we're not affiliated with any insurance companies. We don't endorse, we don't promote or recommend any commercial insurance products or services. We provide the client with the information that they need to make informed decisions, and it's up to the client to decide what they want to enroll in and what they choose for their coverage. So the last program that I'm going to be going over is our Adult Protective Services program. Adult Protective Services is a voluntary program that aims to investigate allegations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation of senior citizens and disabled individuals within the community. If they're willing to accept assistance, Adult Protective Services social workers will travel to the victim's home to provide appropriate resources and ensure their safety. If necessary, APS will cross-report crimes to law enforcement. Typically, an allegation is made by someone in the community. It could be a mandated reporter, a neighbor, a friend, and then that will prompt an APS worker to visit the residence and assess the situation to determine if the allegations are valid. So once APS receives the intake, they will route the case to a worker that is assigned to the area. Depending on the severity of the case, the worker will either immediately begin working on the case. Sometimes they have up to 10 days and working days to reach out to the client. They'll go ahead and contact the individual, the victim or individuals that are involved in the situation. Elder or dependent abuse is an umbrella term that includes several types of abuse, such as physical, financial, abandonment, isolation, neglect, and the most common cases would be self-neglect. In cases of self-neglect, the person living in the home is unable or unwilling to meet their basic needs. In these situations, the worker will travel to the site and provide resources to alleviate the situation and ensure the safety of the individual. The eligibility criteria for the services will be individuals age 60 or older, and individuals between the ages of 18 to 59 if they have a physical or mental disability. Red flags that we tell people to watch out for are unexpected bruises, dehydration or malnourishment, someone who's overly medicated, lack of cleanliness or grooming, fear of a caregiver, a sudden change in mental status. And then we also tell people that whenever they're in doubt, whether someone might be getting abused or maybe they're self-neglecting themselves, just go ahead and report it. So even when you're not 100% sure, a report will still initiate us to meet with the individual or contact the individual. And then to report abuse, you can do those reports at the number you see on the screen. That's a 24-hour hotline. So we take reports 24 hours, 7 days a week. And so that concludes my presentation. The email you see here on the screen that I'm sharing, that's the way that you can send over referrals, or if you have any questions related to our programs, you can send them to that aginginfo at kerncounty.com email, and we'll respond either to the client. If you provide us with the client's information, we can reach out to the client directly, or if you yourself have any questions, we can respond to you and provide you with that information. And if you guys have any questions, I can take those now.
I wanted to say thank you for talking about APS, because I know a lot of times here in our office, we have clients come in that are unsure of how to go about reporting certain situations that an individual might be in. So thank you for putting a good phone number that we can forward for that. It's often needed. We also have a lot of people who are interested in either becoming an IHSS provider or who would like the care. So thank you for explaining that in detail.
Yeah, we're always looking for providers, especially in rural areas. There's a high need for providers, providers or caregivers. So we have a lot of IHSS clients who don't have family members or neighbors usually that are willing to provide the care for them. So they do. We need providers that are available for people in rural areas that can can get those services. So yeah, definitely. And then as far as adult protective services, we always say, like, when you're in doubt and you have questions, whether you should file a report, like if you're questioning whether you should file a report, then more than likely you should be filing the report. If but yeah.
Thank you. Is there anyone who had any questions for Lupe? All right, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you all for coming. I did have a few things that I wanted to add before we get going, a few things that are going on here in our office. We have Kern County Children's Dental Health Network that's going to be here. They're going to be here on April 9th, and they are going to be doing free dental screenings for children 0 to 5. These can also be used for kindergarten registration. So if you or somebody you know might be able to benefit from that, have them reach out to us so they can schedule. We were lucky that this is being funded by First Five. Also, we have Vida, who's been coming to the office over the last couple months, and they will be here tomorrow, but they also will be here on April 4th to be doing free tax preparation. We still have availability on April 4th. So if, once again, if you know somebody or yourself that could benefit from that, please reach out. I know they are helping basically with like simple taxes, but it is a free service. So please pass that on. We always have our children's circle going on every Wednesday, 11 to 12. Our family advocate Maria and Megan are in charge of that. It's a good time to bring the kids. It's targeted for children 0 to 5, however, anyone can come. But it's a good way for kids to socialize, make friends, play, and then, you know, work on their motor skills. It's good for, you know, school preparation. Some of you have probably gotten an email from me regarding our Park Day, our 5th annual Park Day and Resource Fair that's going to be coming up. We have it scheduled for June 7th. It's going to be from 11 to 2. I have, Claudia should have put the application if you are interested in coming. Or if you know another organization who might benefit from coming to our resource fair, please get that back to me by May 30th if you can. We're really looking forward to it. And then last but not least, tomorrow we have Kern Health Systems coming up to Fraser Park. They are going to be having their Regional Advisory Committee meeting at the library. I believe the topic is going to be on behavioral health, but they want to hear from the community as far as, you know, the care you need versus the care you're getting, or any kind of questions you might have, or find out about any programs they might offer. I know that there will be Spanish translators as well as childcare provided. We hope you can make it. There will be lunch provided as well. And that starts at 12 o'clock here at the Fraser Park Library. So, oh, and one more thing. Our next collaborative is May 15th, and it is going to be in person. We are still in the works on the location, but I will let you all know that as soon as possible, and we really hope you can make it to that. So with that being said, that's all I have. Is there anything that anyone here would like to share on your organization before we wrap it up?
Hello.
Hi, Yadira.
Hi. So I'm Yadira from the Kern County Network for Children, and I just wanted to share that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. So for the month of April, we are encouraging our local CBOs, resource centers, any organization that works with families and children to promote this awareness in your part of the community. So we are going to be doing activities throughout the month to try to, spark that conversation as to, what are things that can be done to prevent child abuse from occurring in our community. But not only that, honoring those that work to promote the message on how to connect families to resources and so forth. So we are doing like a social media campaign. Check out our Facebook. We'll be posting on there tips as to like what to share with parents, caregivers on like what they can do with their children to promote positive childhood experiences. We're also going to be putting like what is ACEs. We'll be putting like just kind of like a little guide as to what to talk about if you want to support us with this effort. So April throughout the whole month of April. If you guys are needing me to go out and do a presentation on child abuse prevention, and I'm also so the Mountain Communities Family Resource Center has a shaken baby syndrome doll. So if you ever need a presentation from them as well, you guys can also reach out to them and get a presentation from them, because of course we want to prevent this type of abuse from occurring. So there are different agencies that are doing fun little things, within their organization to bring awareness. I know like CASA, they put the pinwheels out. There's for April 4th, I do ask that you mark your calendar. April 4th, wear blue. So if your organization, anyone in your organization wears blue in awareness of April Child Abuse Prevention Month, it's a good way to spark that conversation as well. So if you do, we will be sharing out like a hashtag that you guys can put if you guys share it in your social media. So or if you guys do it as an organization whole, take a picture, send it my way, and we'll love to share that out. So if you guys do plan to do like any other fun activities throughout your organization to try to promote awareness, do let me know. If you guys want ideas, let me know and I can also share that with you. I know there's some that are doing like Twin Day to, show the power of family and connecting and building those relationships. There's others that are doing like a superhero day, who's that superhero in your life? Every child needs a superhero and stuff like that. So, if your program is doing something to promote it, let me know. If you need ideas, I'll support that as well. We also the proclamation will be shared at the Board of Supervisors on April 8th, so you guys are able to listen in. The website, the kerncounty.com government/Board of Supervisors/Board Agenda Minutes will have that information. We're also doing a book drive. So if anyone is interested, and I know we did share out the I don't know if I can share. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So I also shared out this flyer that we are doing this book drive to collect books that promote parental resilience, promote support children that are coping through tough times, learning about their emotions. And there's other books that, we'll be putting on our Facebook that are very supportive for children to learn about what's okay touching, what's not okay touching. There's other topics that we encourage, to get books for, when it is okay to keep a secret, when it's not okay to keep a secret. So that type of stuff. And if you wish to donate, we do have a drop-off location at the Department of Human Services, and also here at the Kern County Network for Children. If you want to deliver them, there is an option to deliver them via Amazon. Just make sure you put the delivery location as the Department of Human Services office. So I I do we do have that option. Now, for those in the outlying areas, if you guys plan to do this as an activity, collect books and just distribute them amongst your location, then let me know. We support that as well. Our advice is just, if you do need like a list of different books that are catered towards that, just let me know and I can definitely share that out. Also, April 3rd, we'll have the mandated reporter training. There is an in-person and virtual option, so that one did go out already. So for all these different topics that I'm pointing out, if you are not on our email list already and you want to get this information sent out to you, please let me know. My email is yavargas@kern.org. And let me see. We do have another training before reasonable suspicion and impact after reporting. That one's going to be entirely virtual. We invited licensed clinical social worker Colette Catwella to lead us on this training, and it will cover the updated California laws around reporting neglect, and also she'll be talking about the impact of um, when you report. So there are times, we connect with families and then we're trying to offer supportive services, and then we come to find out there's some type of abuse or neglect going on in the home, and then as mandated reporters we end up reporting, but then we're still working with this family. We're still, trying to build that relationship with this family so we can still connect them to a resource. So in this training you'll learn about, like, how you can strengthen that relationship with the client, even though there are times, they are aware you're the person or the agency that reported them, or but yet you're the agency that will be supporting them on certain things. So, this training will support you with, continuing that relationship with your client. And lastly, we will have oh, sorry. April 27th is the Blue Sunday. So we ask support of our community to reach out to your local faith-based organizations, and encourage them to download the free material that is available for them on the bluesunday.org website. And this is so they can, so churches, mosques, temples, monasteries, and many other faith-based organizations that are interested in supporting us with sharing this information can download that material and share it with their community. So, and this is all in awareness of Child Abuse Prevention Month. So just thanking you all for hearing me. And I know it's a lot of information, but like I said, we're trying to get the word out there and try to, work together as a community, because like the motto of this year, it takes a village to raise a child. So thank you for continuing on supporting with being that village. Thank you.
Thank you, Yadira. I appreciate all the information. We will definitely try to participate in the child abuse prevention next month as well. All right. Well, thank you guys. I know we've been here for just a little bit over an hour, and I hope you all gained some useful information out of this. Please reach out to me if there's anything that I might be able to help you with or you want to share. Like I said, our next collaborative will be May 15th. It'll be in person, but I will shoot out an email to everybody so that you can put it on your calendars. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys next time.